Do you think systemic racism plays a part why a lot of black folks live in poverty and a lot of black folks end up in the prison and judicial system? Let's talk about this for a second. I want to know what you have to say. But before you do, make sure you have a valid argument in the comment section. Don't just say the Jim Crow, the white man, stolen from Africa, because let's really dive deep into this. I got a clip for you, and I want you to tell me if systemic racism is the reason why this person was on parole and while they're still committing crimes.
Crime even as cameras were rolling. Local 10's Rush Lowe is live in Northwest Miami-Dade with this exclusive.
Okay, this video is mind-boggling, and I'll explain to you why. It is a Saturday afternoon, plain sight. This guy, you're going to see this in a moment, he has this saw, and it is loud, and he's here, he's underneath the car, song and song and song. Some guy sees him and says, "What are you doing?" He says, "Don't record me." But we have the video, and we have an arrest. So what is going on here? Oh, just a theft in broad daylight, say cops.
People are really brave, and it's getting so much to where they are really just, they don't care about their own lives being at risk.
And we have seen so many stories on catalytic converter thefts, thieves slipping under cars to swipe those pollution control gadgets that contain precious metals. But this one is so bold, so brazen, and this guy is caught on camera by a witness, and he's just going to town. Now watch here, you won't believe this. He says,
"Hey, don't record me, man."
Don't record him? He slips under the car once again and goes back to work.
He goes back to doing it.
Yep. And that's broad daylight on a Saturday?
Yep, it happened February 18th at the Park Tower Apartments located at 777 Northwest 155th Lane.
Looks like he's a mechanic.
Yeah, and it's not. And it's unfortunate that we have to go through this.
Grand theft of motor vehicle parts and criminal mischief.
Cops were able to catch their man. They say he's Hubert Cruzada Jr. By the way, they say he was out on bond at the time of this incident for grand theft.
Hey, don't record me, man.
So as you see, person stealing a catalytic converter in broad daylight didn't even stop when he's being recorded. Do you feel systemic racism has led to that? Like I said, make sure you have a valid comment. If you do feel that way, you also have to explain why I'm not in the prison system, why I am not a statistic, I don't have a criminal record, and how I made it out. Because I grew up in some of your worst areas of Newark, New Jersey, Avon Ave, Hawthorne Ave, Clinton Ave. I grew up in those areas. Explain why countless other black and brown folks made it out. And you also have to explain if systemic racism is the reason why a lot of black folks are in their financial situation living in poverty. You also have to explain why are they white folks, Latinos, living in those same situations. You see, ladies and gentlemen, it goes deeper than that. Has that happened in the past? Absolutely. But you've always had poor white folks. You've always had poor black folks, and you've always had poor Latinos. There's different groups of the haves and have-nots. Now it's 2024. I've been up here, for example, I've been up here trying to tell people this is not like the movies. You can't just go drop a duffel bag of cash or a duffel bag of cash on a house or a car. You need to have a paper trail. You need a W-2 or a business. For instance, let's just say, example, he got $20,000 for that catalytic converter. We know they're not going for that much. I don't know how much they're going for, but let's just say he got 20 grand and he wanted to go buy a BMW. A dealership, a reputable dealership that does things the right ways, that they're not scamming themselves, they're going to want a paper trail. You can't just go drop $20,000, $30,000, $40,000 in cash at a dealership. Some people I know will say in the comment section, I dropped $90,000 on a Maserati. No, you didn't. If you did that, why do you have a SpongeBob avatar? You don't have anything. You live with your parents. You don't have a pot to piss in and a window to throw it out of. And if you do have a window, there's bars on that windows and there's chains on that windows. When you go buy a home and you hear a person paid for it in cash, they didn't bring a duffel bag. What they did was do a transfer, or they did a wire transfer, or they did I don't know these days. Maybe you can do a bank check, but you need a paper trail. This is why I've always said you need a career. As much as people want to fight this, you can fight me as much as you want. You need a career. You need a career, a W-2 to snowball everything else. You can't just come into this workforce with absolutely nothing and think you're going to start as the CEO. It does not happen like that. You need to have degrees from college. If you don't want to go to college, you need to have a certificate of cutting hair or working on diesel engines or something. You can't just steal your way to the top. A lot of people are going to say, what about corporate and the white man? Okay, if you're always worrying about other people, you are the victim. I'm sorry. If you're always worrying about how somebody else got the yacht, you're the victim. I don't give a shit about a yacht. I'm just trying to do good for myself. You see, what a lot of black, brown folks and white folks have figured out, and the reason why we get to where we want to go, is because we don't give a shit what other people are doing. We don't care about getting $10 million. We're happy with what we got. You got to be happy with what you have. If you keep going on social media and looking at people selling you the dream of bullshit and you keep buying it, that's what you will always be. And you will end up like this person, in and out of the criminal system. He's already on parole, committing more crimes. What else can he do? Think about this. Just imagine if he would have listened to my channel. I try to be the big brother and the mentor to a lot of people out there. But the problem is they don't want to hear that. They want to hear you can get rich quick. They want to hear you can get the Lambo. They want to hear you can get the baddie with the big booty. They want to hear you can get the mansion. You can be on a yacht. How you going to do that? How? And then you'll get angry and you'll try to steal your way to the top. Listen, I've been up here. Remember the questions that I asked. If you still believe in systemic racism, and a lot of black and brown folks are in their situations, a lot of people will say you didn't have your fathers in your lives. While I'm up here, I'm trying to be a father figure and a big brother. What is your excuse? You got to explain why there's white folks in your situation, and you also got to explain how black folks made it out. I've never ran a football. I don't have a jump shot. I don't have a rap album. I'm not an actor. I have a small YouTube channel. A lot of people remind me that all the time. How did I make it out? How? And there's countless other black folks that do not have a criminal record. We own real estate. We own assets. We don't own a lot of liabilities. We own more assets. Explain how we made it out. Explain how we did it and you can't do it. And explain why there's countless white folks out there too that are just as broke as you. Explain it in the comment section. Don't just ramble on and 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 on about how the white man stole you from Africa. Why don't you have anything now? And why don't a lot of white folks have anything now? Maybe it has something to do with your mindset. Maybe there is the people who bitch about it, and there's the people who close their mouth and go get it. But I want to know why you feel the way you do. No regrets? Get it.